Hi, I'm Rhombus Tix. Welcome to the Tossing Grenades at Windmills podcast. We're continuing with I, Odysseus. Here's Bernard Setaro Clark. Hope you enjoy.
Part 2. Ah, you return for more, do you, necromancer? Let us ponder, then, the Ismarians. My men were starving. We had not seen our home for 10 years, and we learn of a city in league with our former enemy, brimming with supplies. Historians have judged us harshly, to say the least. The Ismarians were pacifists. They would not raise the sword in their own defense. Can a man be so craven that he will not lift a blade to save his own child? This world is harsh, bare, and wild. Bitter, blackened war has taught me so. The Carthaginians, other allies of Troy, lorded over the Ismarians, exalting vassaled tribute in exchange for nominal protection. They scared away their neighboring kingdoms or small bandit bands, but my crusading cutthroats had no fear of Carthage at all. Many are the critics who cite my solitude. My men die around me while I survive. But that night in camp, I warned my men to keep vigil. But like fools, they slept. They knew. They knew from my warnings. They knew from rumor of terrible Ciconian wrath. They knew from the common sense Gaia herself endowed to them. I stayed awake, but one man cannot act sentry for an entire army. With rolling eyes and gnashing teeth did daggered Ciconians enter the camp. Terrible was their fury, and gory their exodus. 2 times their painted ghost-like forms blurred through our lines. It was not until the 3rd that my drunken, stupid men dropped their ill-gotten wealth and fled for the boats, the Ciconian drums beating all along the way. Out into the waves the remnant fled, dancing and skipping over the rocks, piling upon their boats, desperate to flee the terror behind them. They should have heeded my counsel. 10 years of feasting had taught them to think like Agamemnon. After the night of the Ciconians, they began to think like Odysseus. At least for a little while. Morale was terrible, but at least the men were now alert. Every shadow, every seabird conspired with the Ciconians to destroy them. Flotsam or debris made them howl with fear. 3 days this went on. One can then imagine the terror that the island sowed among their ranks. Upon the horizon, its lush green shores grew from fearsome to hopeful. Terror shed behind. Now schooled in proper caution, we sent one man into the island to spy. All day we waited with no result. A 2nd and a 3rd we sent. None returned. Our supplies were desperately low, but no more would risk death. Then, just as we were about to leave, 3 slovenly fools meandered out of the effervescent haze that covered the island's center.
Hey, dude, we just wanted to let you know your men are A-OK. They just couldn't be bothered to come back.
Their speech was slurred. Their eyes were bloodshot. They had sheaves of lotus on their hands.
Hey, dude, want some lotus?
No, I do not. What have you done with my men?
Like, they totally had some lotus. It whacks you out, lets you see crazy things, like the future. Do you want to know the future, man?
Ever hear of Oedipus? Decidedly not. Show me where my men are.
You sure, man? They seem to be tripped out in the past, having a blast, moving fast.
I gave a final no. Up the beach we walked until I found the path from whence they had come. The 3 trailed behind me, prattling on.
Dude, in the future there will be metal birds that fly in the air. Magic boxes will entertain and hypnotize the masses with flashing images of light. The king will totally rule and vanish, waiting for his heir to return and claim the throne.
I found my men laying on cots, eating grapes and lotus, spittle coming out of their mouths. An idiot grin with an idiot giggle bespoke their state of mind. 3 times I lifted each one to carry them back to the boat. 3 times they howled within minutes when denied the lotus they so craved, scrambling back to their compatriots. At last I decided to leave them to their fate. Their lotus thus became their home, their family and their realm. We sailed on and left those 3 behind. The men were unhappy. Supplies were low. We set sail and landed upon the first island we found. We found no food, little water, less hope. Within a few hours we came upon a cave. The smell of food inside was overpowering, and so we entered the darkest of caves. Deep inside, the light of torches played off the wall, shadows flickering, dancing through the tabletops. Within our grasp was a feast the likes of which we had not seen in such a sundered decade. One and all, we gorged ourselves, ravenous from starvation. It was thus in our state of delirium that the Cyclops was able to sneak up upon us unawares. So loud was our laughter and boorish brazing at Hades' trough that he ate 5 men before we even noticed. We all fled then, but he had put himself between us and the door, forcing us farther into the cave. We hid there, in the darkness, where I conceived of a plan. We took the mast of a ship, lodged deep in the caves, and set it afire. Then all 20 of those remaining lit it ablaze. As a flaming wooden spear, with Herculean effort, we tossed it into the beast's eye, blinding him, wounding him, but not killing him. For 3 more days he sat vigil upon the entrance to the cave, keeping watch, keeping fury, feeling all about for a hint of our presence. In his despair he asked who had done this, to which I replied, no one. Thus his howls to his fellows, his brethren of one eye, went unanswered, for he wailed, "No one has blinded me!" At last we slung ourselves beneath his gigantic sheep, which he permitted out of the cave to graze in the morning wind. We then ran for the ships. He ran after us, stumbling and staggering all the way. In my hubris, safe I thought I was from the sea, the cursed, blessed sea. I shouted, "Know you, One-Eye, that I am Odysseus, champion of Troy? Take solace that no ordinary man has bested you this day." Was it worth it? Was it worth 10 years of my life? The Cyclops had a name, Polyphemus, son of Neptune. Foolish is the man who angers the gods, but I did not know that. Would I lose those 10 years turned round and about the sea by an angry trident's stirring? My child was fated to grow a man alone. Too many obstacles barred my way. My men seemed determined to die long before the Cyclops, as our experience with the Cicadians was plain to see. This, then, a man must ask. What is free will? And what is fate? I have seen too much not to embrace both as another traveler. For while fate might hold its way, 'tis my choice about the manner I live my life, or govern my actions. Still, despite my men's determination to die, I was determined to save them. Behold the rage of Neptune, His trident stirs the waters, boiling the ocean in wave after wave, spared only by the patronage of 6 gods whose bloodlust we more than sated at Troy. He could not kill us, but he could make us wish for death. Mountains in the ocean, each one a tortured climb. Men's arms bled from exertion, useless sails torn apart like kindling, rowing for our mere survival. No knowledge that we could not die. All we sought was land. Land of any kind. Land of any measure. Anything to end the torment. We came to an island beyond the storm, where all was dead and calm. Strange and ethereal music played in the back of our minds, titillating and teasing the senses. There, high upon the cliff's brow, a wondrous palace manifest amongst the web of fog. How can one build an edifice of clouds? Only the gods can know. One such manifested himself in all his radiant glory. His name was Aeolus, god of winds, and he took pity on our plight. He fed us, clothed us, and gave us track to repair our ships. It was a time of peace, yet my yearning for home would not be denied. This man behaved as gods should be. The minor lord of winds was more benevolent and holy than Zeus ever was. We did not tarry long. As wondrous as our host's hospitality ranked in glory, our yearning for home grew ever greater. Thus by night, while Neptune looked another way, did we sail, precious gift in hand, for Aeolus had placed the very north wind in a bag to guide us swiftly home upon the water. Alas, and a wonder, I am mortal. Therefore I must at some times sleep. Such was our downfall. Men are monkeys, not animated clay. Then again, what other animal can be monkey? Sheep, lion, and jackass, all in one. But like the curious monkey, the good men of Ithaca could not leave well enough alone. What did the wind look like? What if it wasn't really there? What if there wasn't enough? So, despite every warning from Aeolus and myself, they opened the bag. You can imagine the natural result. Torrent and howl, whistle and soar, the wind broke free with glee. The sails broke after sending us helplessly to the 4 corners of the earth. Cannibals. We lost 2 more of our number to that wicked hunger that men harbor against men. We only dared to sail at night, lest we face Neptune's wrath under the illumination of Apollo's chariot. As one might imagine, islands like olives, one after the other, dripping off the dining table of the gods, became a burden to the eyes. We wanted Ithaca. We wanted home. We found Circe instead. But by now, even my crew had learned a humble bit of caution. No immediate threat revealed itself. The island appeared to be uninhabited. Night fell, and we posted guards, but what matters mortal wiles and mortal will against the like of magic? It was dumb luck and drunken stupor that caused me to eat the herb that kept me whole. All my men became swine, and I remained a man. Behold Circe, quite surprised at sunset, sensual but not Helen, intelligent but not my wife. She was an alluring combination of both, yet unhinged as only the mad can know. Come the morning, she was shocked to find me whole. What strange element of femininity finds attraction when they are bested? And yet there it was, lust naked in her eyes from the start. Perhaps she thought me an arcane peer. I know not. It was one secret she never revealed. Another irregularity by Homer's meter. I would not leave, but had to be coaxed by the men of Ithaca to return to my wife and leave Circe. Right. This be the same lot who never heeded my orders, whose fathers beset Penelope day and night? No, it is true. For no particular reason, I decided to abandon my wife and son, and it was the brave men of Ithaca, those brilliant, bold, stout stewards of reason. By their silver tongues alone was I united with my beloved. Right. And so Circe, eventually moved by the golden bards of Ithaca, decided to let us leave. She loaded our ship with gifts and sundry supplies, coupled with knowledge of the great and dark lands that bore yet ahead in our cursed journey. Neptune's ire rose high. We dodged the waves as they crashed and fell. I felt Ithaca now, closer than before. In some ways I was right. In most I was wrong. And so we come to Saertes. The name should be familiar, should it not, necromancer? There the Magi base us all to part the veil, to speak with the dead. Ancient kings and queens, heroes from days of yore, all paraded before us, as I am paraded before you. I am still unsure who these phantoms desired to impress. But be assured, necromancer, you will gain no second-hand secrets from my lips. Let the dead stay dead. They are not meant to mingle among the living. A lesson you might learn well. It is the nature of every being who tells my tale to reflect his current day, or days of yore, by thrusting conversations that did not happen down my gaping maw. Why would I speak to future generations who have not yet even died? I did not discuss politics. I did not discuss philosophy. I confirmed that grim belief that all men have, that something terrible awaits us after death. Bespeak no more on the subject. Then it is I that do the speaking, is it not? Does thy power compel me? Or is it the need those beyond have to reconfirm the mark of their lives, to set the record straight after their chronicles wreck the past in their own private jest? I am Odysseus, and I speak for myself.